capybara is the largest living rodent, and an adult can weigh well over 100 pounds, with a barrel-shaped body, short legs, and a blunt face built for wet country. It lives across much of South America, usually in places where grass, soft banks, and permanent water come together, from seasonally flooded plains to marshes, ponds, and slow rivers. Water is not just nearby scenery for a capybara, it is the center of daily life, giving this heavy grazer a place to feed, cool down, hide, and sleep. Its slightly webbed feet help it move through mud and swim with control, while ever-growing front teeth and tough cheek teeth handle a steady diet of grasses and aquatic plants. Most feeding happens in the cooler parts of the day, so groups often leave shelter at first light or late afternoon and spread out over open ground. At dawn, a capybara may crop short grass along a damp pasture edge, keeping its head low and moving slowly as it feeds in a calm, steady rhythm. When shoreline plants are fresh, it also pulls at reeds and floating vegetation, sometimes feeding in shallow water with only its back and head showing above the surface. During the dry season, shrinking water can force many animals into smaller areas, and capybaras may follow worn paths between feeding patches, muddy wallows, and the last reliable pools. In the wet season, the landscape opens up again, and a group can spread through flooded grassland, swimming channels, crossing soft ground, and using new feeding spots. Capybaras are highly social, and most live in groups that may include several females, their young, and one dominant male that keeps close watch over the others. That leading male often carries a dark, raised scent gland on the top of his nose, and he uses it along with anal glands to mark plants and nearby ground. The group stays in contact with whistles, chirps, barks, and short calls, and those sounds become especially important when thick vegetation blocks the view. Even while feeding, at least one animal is usually alert, lifting its head to check the surroundings for danger while the rest of the group continues to graze. If a threat appears, capybaras can burst into motion surprisingly fast, crashing toward water and diving in with strong kicks from their hind legs. A capybara can stay mostly submerged with just its eyes, ears, and nose exposed, turning the waterline into cover while it watches for trouble. Mud also matters, because a wallow helps protect the skin from heat and biting insects, especially when the midday sun is strong over an open wetland. By the hottest part of the day, many capybaras stop feeding and rest in shade near water, lying close together under low trees, shrubs, or riverbank cover. Quiet social behavior continues there, with animals touching, resting shoulder to shoulder, or grooming one another while small birds sometimes search around them for insects. Breeding can happen at different times depending on local conditions, but females usually choose sheltered ground near water where newborns can reach cover quickly. Unlike many smaller rodents, capybara young are born well-developed, with fur, open eyes, and the ability to stand and follow their mother soon after birth. Several mothers may keep their young together in a loose nursery group, and the pups begin tasting grass early even though they still nurse. Life around water gives safety, but it also brings predators, and young capybaras in particular must avoid caimans, large snakes, wild dogs, and cats such as jaguars. Adults are not helpless either, yet their best defense is still awareness, group living, and quick access to deep water rather than fighting on land. Because their teeth never stop growing, capybaras need constant feeding and chewing, and that steady wear is one reason grasses remain such an important food source. Their digestive system is built to get as much value as possible from rough plant food, and they may re-eat soft droppings to recover nutrients missed the first time. In some regions, capybaras live near cattle pastures, farm ponds, and town edges, which can make them seem tame even though they are still fully wild animals. That closeness to people can bring pressure from traffic, habitat loss, and hunting, especially where wetlands are drained or animals are treated as pests. Even so, where water and grazing remain available, capybaras can be very successful, and their constant feeding helps shape the plant growth around wetlands. As evening returns, groups often move back out from shade, step through shallow water, and spread across fresh grass again while young animals stay near the adults. Capybara survives not through speed or aggression, but through social awareness, steady grazing, and a close partnership with water that defines nearly every part of its life.